Got a lot of interesting stuff to go over tonight. Touch DNA. It's an interesting topic. Especially, I just need to share this again. If you have not seen this read through of this article, or even if you have, please share it because it needs to get out there. People need to understand that this stuff can take place. We talked West Memphis 3 before, didn't get much attention. This right here, this shows everything that could literally be taking place against Kohberger. It's 45 minutes, I understand. But damn, people need to understand this. It needs to be out there. This article needs to be out there. The whole 100% guilty. Y'all need to check that out. Because I'm sure everybody was saying 100% guilty against M.Carver too. And I bet if it would have been in a age the way social media is right now, I'm sure it would have been the same situation. The shit's real. There's a reason we talk about this stuff. There's a reason why I continue to say innocent until proven guilty. There's a reason why. That's a perfect reason why. Because think about it. How many people would have been saying that about M.Carver? And if you don't know, let me know. I'll go ahead and put a poll in chat. We're going to be talking about it tonight amongst some other stuff we have for this evening. Lieutenant Lanier, some other things from some other contributors. I appreciate it. Speaking of one of them, Unravel. What's up, Unravel? How you doing tonight?
Hey, how are you?
I've been better, but I'm
Not
here.
feeling good still?
No, not feeling it still, but it's all good. I need to be on, especially about this stuff. Did you get to check out any of that? What I'm talking about, M.Carver. We're going to be going into some of it tonight.
Was it from yesterday?
Yeah, that article.
Yeah, that's
It was a lengthy one. Isn't it crazy, though?
Yeah.
Interviewed the guy. He shook the officer's hand. The officer went and touched the vehicle. And all of a sudden, his touch DNA was on the vehicle. And boom, convicted of unaliving her.
How long ago was this?
It was in 2011. He was convicted. It happened in 2008. He was convicted in 2011.
Right.
He sat in jail for 3 years until he was convicted. They had even fabricated information and statements to make it appear like they just focused on him, totally focused on him, found a little bit of touch DNA on a door handle, which is the door handle Ellie opened the door with. Who's to say the touch DNA didn't end up on the sheath because whoever picked it up had it on there? It's crazy, eerie, similar to everything that's going down. It's so freaking crazy similar. He just shook the officer's hand, and next thing you know, he was convicted of unaliving her.
But that's not the case here.
The case is it was touch DNA, 20 skin cells. What do you mean? That's why I read it, because you look at it and you could match it all up. It could possibly be happening to Kohberger too. What happened to M.Carver? That's the whole reason I read it. It could be the same thing. What else besides the sheath skin cells is there Unravel? A white car on surveillance.
In that area, that
They were in the area too.
Maybe witnesses.
They were 200 or 300 feet away. They were literally 200 or 300 feet away. That's it. That's why the police zoned in on him so quick, because both of them stated they were 200-300 yards away and they didn't hear anything that happened. So the authorities focused in on him, and next thing you know, both of them are getting convicted. The only reason one got convicted was because the other guy passed away of a heart attack the day before the trial. Isn't that fucked up?
Yeah, that's messed up.
Yeah. All because of a little touch DNA. Doesn't mean that you committed the crime. That's why I keep bringing up the coffee cup and my microphone stand. It's that simple.
But it's not the only factor.
White car on surveillance. They started off with 22,000. Okay.
This is only stuff.
There's a lot of white cars. Okay, I'm just saying. I'm sure there were. If M.Carver, if this happened right now at the same time, I bet you the same shit would be happening to M.Carver that's been happening to Brian Kohberger. The cell phone data. You hear too many. There's reasonable doubt all over the place with that. There's too many experts saying too many different things. Reasonable doubt.
I don't know.
I mean, okay, you got the sheath. Well, you got the door handle. You got proximity. Well, you got proximity on both. Just, okay, his cell phone utilized the same tower the house did 12 times. Doesn't mean he was sitting outside in front of their parking lot. No. It just means that they utilized the same tower. How many towers are in Moscow to be utilized? Like, what else? What else? Surveillance video of a white car. Like I said, I want to play that dart game that I can just hit a fucking balloon every time I throw a dart. What else? That's what I'm...
Well, I couldn't find my notes. I have a lot written down. I'm going to go see if I hit it in a different place.
It's so similar. It's so similar to what could be taking place right now. And hell, Carver's cousin, Cassida, freaking passed away because they were wrongfully zoning in on him the day before the trial. Do you think that if they weren't falsely accusing him because they wanted to focus on certain people without looking at the facts, do you think he would have passed away? Maybe not. Not saying he wouldn't have, but damn, don't you think a trial for unaliving somebody when you know you didn't do it, don't you think that'd be a pretty damn stressful? I do. I say that shit contributed it too. The fact that they play these games, this isn't just, oh, sorry, we made a mistake. No, this is you're affecting people's freaking lives. So I'm sorry, when I see bullshit, I gotta call it out. What's up, everybody? I'm feeling okay. Dre, Moonville, Sasha, Cherry, Bobby J, Kelly, Maria, Kitty. I'm going to be going into it. I got a bunch of stuff saved for you guys to kind of show you a little bit more about it. And then we're going to go into the Idaho4 stuff. But this stuff needs some attention because, what's up, Detective Sarah Sweetness? It definitely needs to be heard because what if at the end, what if 3 years later, the same shit happens to him that happened to Mark Carver? This is my point. The dude's already in custody. He's already going to go to trial. So the prosecutors are going to do their thing. It's up to us to call out the bullshit. Because I read, hell, the highlight that I made before the one that I made last night about Ann Taylor's 2017 acquittal. Same thing. Prosecutors focusing in, so confident. Next thing you know, poof, not guilty. And then they say, well, we're just not going to look for anybody else because we feel the person that did the crime got away with it. If that happens too, everybody's always said from the beginning that watch it be a possibility where he gets off and then they don't even care to find the persons that. What's up, Sleazen?
Don't
It's
get
just
me
creepy.
wrong. I do
You see
think
this
there's
shit.
somebody or some more going on.
Oh yeah, there's more than what's to the eye for sure. But I mean, I'm just saying, you see, the reason I spend 45 minutes out of a show or longer actually out of a show to read that is because it's like, and even make a highlight of it. It's like, yo, this shit can happen. You know, you just got to look at it like this. Unravel. Compare this PCA to all the other PCAs. That's all you got to do. When you compare this PCA to all the other PCAs are straight up boom, 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 boom. Where's the frickin' holes? With this PCA, you can read it. You're like, well, okay. His cell phone utilized the same tower that the house did. Well, it's not like it's Chicago, Illinois. It's Moscow, Idaho. How many towers? I mean, of course it's going to. Of course it is. And then with the white car, you're looking at
Not
22,000 to start
necessarily.
off with. What do you mean?
For the tower, the
How
reason
many
why sometimes the towers pick up is if there's so many cell phones or Wi-Fi or whatever using one thing, it'll bounce off to another one.
Yeah. How many
But
are
it's
there?
not that busy.
That's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying, Unravel. How many cell phone towers are there in Moscow? It's not Chicago where there's a whole shit ton, right? Where it's like boom, oh yeah, we tracked him going down. How many cell phone towers are in Moscow, Unravel?
But we're not only talking about cell phone towers. We're talking about Elantra that has you
A
can
white car.
no the box in the white car. It's digital.
Oh, so I mean, we showed the
I mean,
VIN
it connects
number.
to the phone.
So for sure his model had it because I thought his model didn't have it. It was an upgraded model that he didn't have that had that feature. That's why I put out the VIN number. Are you sure that it? Because I thought it was the model that wasn't upgraded. So
Yeah.
if his car didn't have that, and you're saying that a white car on surveillance, which you just offer a stock photo, you don't even have a good enough photo to offer to the public. You offer a stock photo. So are you
Well, if it's
really
used
going to be
for
able?
evidence,
Huh?
if it's used for evidence, they're not going to put it out.
Why wouldn't you? If you wanted to catch this person as soon as possible, why wouldn't you want the picture of the real car out there? I mean, it just makes sense. If you want this person caught, especially for unaliving 4 people, would if you had a good picture, wouldn't you want it out to the public so they knew what car to look for?
I agree, but they might
Right.
have a reason.
What would be the reason that they would hold that picture from the public? Because I don't know of any good one. I've thought about it ever since the crime took place, to be honest, about the photo of the vehicle. And I never understood why a real photo of the vehicle was never released to the public if they had one. What's the reason? Because I can't think of any good reason to hold a real picture from the public at all. In fact, if you have one, you should put it out there ASAP. That's just my opinion. I can't think of a good reason. What would be a reason?
Let me sit on that one.
I can't think of one. If you have a real photo, you should be putting it out there as soon as possible because you want this person that just unalived 4 people caught. But instead, you put out a stock photo because all you have is surveillance evidence of a white vehicle driving around in a path that you think they took. And when you're starting your investigation out with 22,000 white vehicles, well, it tells me you don't really have a good place to start. So it tells me that you don't even have a clear picture of the car if you have to start with 22,000. You don't even know the exact model because you don't even have a clear enough picture. That's why you couldn't release one to the public. That's why you had to use a stock photo. And when you're talking about cell phone towers in Moscow, how many of them are there? Of course, the phone is going to connect to it's going to, quote, utilize the tower that the 1122 property utilized. Of course it would. Of course. So you're looking at those 2 things right there. Plenty of frickin' holes. The skin cells on the sheath. I just read Mark Carver's case right there. Same thing took place. So you can't say that doesn't have holes or it's a possibility, because it is. So there's reasonable doubt right there. What else do they have? Because they don't have DNA of the victims anywhere on his items, his home, his residence, his office.
That's what we're being told right now.
Well, don't you think they would put that in the PCA if they had it? Because the last thing they want to do is have any of that stuff in the PCA fall through. So that's what brings me back up to the 2 statements when it comes to both of the roommates and not just one. If you had a statement that matched what your PCA is going with from BF, wouldn't you want that in the PCA as well? Of course you would.
But it might
Of course
be,
you
it
would.
just might be redacted.
You would want, of course it's redacted because it's exculpatory. What I'm trying to
Not
say is you want,
necessarily.
of course, that's how I feel. I always say I'm not standing at the water cooler. I mean, come on, let's be real. But you're not going to want both statements in the PCA? Why not? That's just like you don't want to put out the real photo of the vehicle. Those 2 things just don't make sense to me. They don't make sense to me. Why wouldn't you want another statement in the PCA to solidify that PCA? Look at everybody else's PCA. Look at Long Island SK's PCA. Look at Richard Allen's PCA even. And that has holes in it all over as well. That's more clad than this Idaho4 one. This PCA is a joke. Yeah, going off things being told. I've done highlights and read plenty of articles of cases where they're going off of shit they're told, and then what happens? The shit was twisted. Take the 45 minutes to listen to the M.Carver case that I talked about last night. I'm sorry. It just matches up way too much with the shit that's going down in this case. To sit there and say that the cell phones are ironclad, I don't think so. To sit there and say that the surveillance of the white car, I just pointed out all the reasons why there's holes in it. What's the reason why they wouldn't want to release a real photo? There is none. Then that means you don't give a shit about finding the people that just unalive these 4 victims. Do you think when somebody gets kidnapped, oh, let's not put out the license plate number yet, because we got a good reason. Give me a break. That makes it doesn't. It can't. Just like come on, the photo. You would have to release it. You would have to. To not release that information is to say that you don't give a
Protect
shit.
people from the stigma of being under investigation.
Do what?
It's sometimes they don't release it to protect people from being under investigation before the police have enough.
They didn't even let the family put out a reward. They didn't even let the family put out a dollar amount just to say, let's catch, whoever can give us information to help catch the person. They didn't even put a photo of a vehicle. They didn't even put a suspect list or a profile. They were just wanting to put out money, and they wouldn't even let them do that.
I think they wanted
a reason.
legit case.
There's a reason. They didn't know.
They didn't know what?
They were going after a Sentra first. How in the hell did they? I'm sorry. I can't think of any reason why you wouldn't put out a real photo of the vehicle if you're trying to catch the person.
Okay, do you remember what we first heard when it first came out?
What?
They said people or person that was in the car that might have evidence.
Yeah, plural. It always said plural.
Because then everybody would be like, it would create chaos.
It was already chaotic. You just had 4 people unalived in the most brutal fashion. Like it's brutal what took place, and then like I said again, it's not serious. Chicago.
They were like focused and dead serious. They didn't want to give anybody heads up of what they knew. They were keeping it under, I don't know, being protective. They know more.
So then why even put out 2011 to 13 Elantra? If you're trying to come
forward.
So then why wouldn't you put out the real vehicle? This is what I'm saying. Why are you going to tell us if you're trying to protect somebody from not putting the real vehicle out there, the real photo, then why are you putting the real model and year out there? Why are you even putting any information about a vehicle out there if you're trying to protect somebody from a vehicle being... You know what I mean?
Well, they know the person, whoever was out there, knew that they were out there, regardless if they had anything to do with it or not. They knew. So they're waiting for a reason. If you had a reason why they were there, they could investigate it and then move on. But no one coming forward, that kind of puts, they're like, huh.
I don't know. I'm just looking at it in a different way. If it was me and that happened to my sister, I'd want to know the picture that M.Carver. I would want the picture of the damn car out there because I'd want this person off the street as soon as possible so it doesn't happen to somebody else's sister. I don't give a fuck about if somebody gets scared because a picture of their damn car ends up on the 5 o'clock news. I don't give a shit. The last thing I want is this person doing this to somebody else's sister.
But
And if that means
compromising
they
an
put the
investigation,
vehicle picture out there, then that means they put the vehicle picture out there. You know what? If people wanted to think about the person that committed the crime's feelings about, or whoever was involved in it, their feelings, who gives a fuck? Because maybe they should have thought about the person's feelings that they did that to, instead of, oh my gosh, the picture of my vehicle is going to get released to the public.
that's not
Fuck
what I'm
that.
saying at all. I'm not saying that at all. Compromising the investigation is what I'm saying.
If anything, that's going to complete your investigation. You get the person in there quicker so then they don't commit the crime to somebody else. The longer they're out on the street, the more opportunity they have to commit the same crime that they just committed. And it's about protecting the public, number one. Not about getting your investigation top notch. It's about protecting the public, number one, over your damn investigation. So if that means that you're leaving this person out there 1 minute longer, I'm sorry, you're not protecting the community, which is your freaking job.
I'll give you a scenario. Someone steals a white car and then commits a crime. I mean, you got to rule out every avenue first.
If you have a picture of the car, it gets released. If you have a picture of the plate, it gets released. Name me a case where they had a picture of the car in the plate and they never put it out to the public. Because if they did, I would like to call for their damn jobs. That's just like an Amber Alert not releasing a plate number if they have it. That is so fucked up and against your civil duty to protect the community. I'm sorry. You need your ass fucking called out and you need your job gone, as far as I'm concerned. Because if you have, whether it's a picture of a vehicle or you have a picture of a plate and you do not release it to the public, I don't give a fuck if and or what. If you don't release it to the public, get the fuck out. That's just me. And I'm sorry. That's why I can't see them not releasing this shit if they have it. That's why I can't see them not doing it. That's why I'm saying if they had it, they would have. They didn't. They don't. That's why you look at the PCA. Where's the picture of the vehicle? They give you so many things. We could literally read through the PCA right now and I could just call out holes in it. I could create scenarios to show how there's reasonable doubt. You give me somebody else's PCA of any of these other cases that we talk about, how am I going to point holes out? I'm going to look at it and go, some bitch. What am I going to say? They don't have a picture. I don't understand. Can anybody tell me the reason why LE wouldn't release a photo of the vehicle? I want to know a reason why. What is a reason why they would not release a photo of the vehicle to the public if they had one? Even before they arrested Kohberger. I'm talking as soon as they had a photo. You know, because I understand you got to go through surveillance. You might not have the picture right away, but sure as fuck, if you have the route that, you look at the PCA, sure as fuck, if you have the route down to a T in the PCA, well, you sure as hell should be able to find all the surveillance known to frickin' man along that route, along that same time. You should be able to have all of it. You shouldn't have to dig through 51 terabytes of surveillance. You should already know what 11 freaking terabytes of surveillance you need to go through because you already know I mean, look at the path on the PCA. So who at any moment when you figured out that path and you had all of that surveillance and you couldn't get hell, I make thumbnails out of fucking videos. You know what I'm saying? I make thumbnails out of videos. They could easily get a freaking picture off a surveillance video. So what would be the reason why they couldn't give anybody in the community a clearest photo as possible? Because let's be honest, it's surveillance. How come they couldn't give anybody the clearest photo possible to the public, whether it was because they wanted to protect somebody or they had a good reason? I'd like to know what it is. Because as far as I'm concerned, there's no good reason to hold that from the public if you have it. No good reason. And if you think it is, I would love to hear it. Because as far as I'm concerned, if you have a reason to hold that from the public, then you shouldn't even be doing your fucking job. You shouldn't. Especially with that crime. It's one thing if you rob a bank. But when you unalive 4 kids, young adults, the prime years of their life, working towards the future, almost done with school, ready to begin the next chapter of their life, you do it to those individuals, the future of our country, and you don't put out a photo, and you don't let the family even put out a reward. To me, there's a reason. Because you want to make it look like you know what happened. You don't want other people to figure out what happened. Why do you think we're doing what we're doing with the grub truck tomorrow? Because they don't want us to figure out what happened. That's why there's so many possibilities. That's why there's so many holes and everything. That's why people can talk about one subject and we don't even touch it. Because that's what they want. They want all of these different possibilities and things that could have took place. Because the more possibilities and the more crazy ass shit that gets talked about, and all of a sudden it just dilutes the truth even more. You throw another category on there, all of a sudden that just dilutes the truth a little bit more. That's why I don't entertain a lot of this other crazy ass shit. Because I'm not trying to dilute the truth. I'm not trying to dilute the truth with a whole bunch of this other crazy shit that everybody else talks about for the views and the clicks. It ain't me, because I'm not trying to dilute the truth. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm not trying to create more smoke. I'm trying to fucking blow through it. There's a reason they didn't want a reward. There's a reason they didn't put out a photo. There's a reason for all this shit. And when they don't want to be honest, because the reason we're doing what we're doing, Unravel, is because they're not being honest. Right?
No, I think it's to allow to be fair.
I mean, why are you looking at the grub truck and looking at other individuals than Kohberger? You know what I'm saying? It's because
I think there's a co-defendant. I think someone knew.
We're not being told the truth. We're not being told the truth.
Yeah, they are allowed to lie to us. It's
in a press conference, not on a PCA.
Well, if they were being lied to at first.
But okay, they came out with the PCA in December, and they have not been able to lie about anything since then. So why are...
It's not lying. They're not lying whatever they were told.
So the the case that I just read last night, and I made a highlight of it. Nobody was lying on the prosecution side in that case.
I was talking about Idaho.
Right, and I'm saying that could happen in this case too. How do you know that they're not lying, Unravel?
I'm not saying. Why would they lie?
Why would okay, so then why are you looking at other people on Grub Truck?
That's what I'm saying, because I think there was
Because
someone else that knew. I mean, there had to have been. There was quite a few posts about things that.
so why are you okay? But if you feel like the prosecution already has that handled, so why are you even taking the time to look at it then? If you already know that they have it handled, and that person's probably part of what is being in the investigation.
Curiosity.
Okay. I think somebody else did know. That's why I'm saying they're lying. Because
Let's say
they're only going after one person. Yeah, he got arrested at
that committed the
12:30. That's the
actual
last day
crime.
that they could lie. That's the last day they could lie.
Maybe, I mean, like, who's to say? I don't know. They never. I mean, you never know. It might come. I mean, they keep it secret for a reason. What if?
They
Okay,
did with Mark Carver
this
too. They kept it secret.
say this person, the co-defendant. I'm just saying, maybe there is, maybe there isn't. But say he or she told them something, and this is why they leaded this way. But then maybe there is a chance where the co-defendant might be lying, and maybe they're trying to find out. They're just trying to find out, or maybe they already know.
I don't think they do. I think that's why they didn't close off the parking lot in the beginning, and they called it an unalive self unalive. I think from the beginning they didn't know what the fuck. I don't think they knew what the hell.
In the beginning, that might be true.
And even up until they came up with the PCA. Because like I said, I've even had other people approach me and ask me to do a show where I compare the Idaho4 PCA to other PCAs. I just read different PCAs so everybody can see the difference. And when you read the PCAs, it's so you can see the difference. That's why I'm saying when I can see when I didn't even go to school for this shit, and I can see holes in the PCA. Why wouldn't you add somebody else's statement to the PCA to solidify it even more? Why wouldn't you add a real photo to solidify it even more? I don't think they knew. I think they didn't want the family coming out with a reward because they wanted to be the ones to make sure they determined what took place and who was responsible because they're the big boys. That's why they didn't allow the FBI to take over by simply requesting the FBI's assistance, which means they can let the FBI only participate in what they want them to participate in. So they control what took place and who did it. All of the secrecy. So they can control what took place and who did it. They can determine. They even put out a profile of Ted Bundy when he committed his crimes. They didn't do that with BK. They brought Ted Bundy in for questioning. They didn't do that with BK. They had witness statements. They didn't with BK.
But they also didn't have two people that didn't get touched for 8 hours.
What do you mean Bundy had surviving victims?
That didn't call the cops for 8 hours.
Okay, who says that they knew he left? I don't know. I'm the 8 hour time
Well,
limit
that
with the
has to get
girls
them
calling out.
boggled too.
I don't. I'm sorry. What?
That has to be boggling to the police too. Like what? But like they had to. I mean,
They didn't
when
even. Why would it
someone's
be boggling to them? They didn't show up until after 4 o'clock when 911 showed up at noon. They
okay,
didn't
so
take their. They took their time to get there. What do you mean they? But I'm not even talking about the 8 hour gap.
I'm just saying for them to investigate it right, it's gonna be I mean, like you have to. Okay, so when there's a victim, they don't like to interrogate them multiple times. It already was stated that BF was interrogated multiple times.
But why? But I'm not even talking about the gap between the calls. I'm talking about uh that they're not being honest about the PCA and what's in it. With the 8 hour gap, you could have so many. I mean, how there's so many different possibilities with that. I mean, the 8 hour gap. That's its own. That's its own. That's its own thing. In
But I'm
itself.
just saying, you're talking
But
about the cops not wanting to give out all this information. Why would they when they have to figure out the start?
because they're doing their job. If you have a picture of the vehicle, you put it out. When 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 have you when we all talk about how the rewards are bullshit because they're 5 or 10 grand, you know? We all talk about how the rewards are so damn low and bullshit because, but when do we ever talk about, oh my gosh, like they're not allowed to put out a reward? When have we ever talked about somebody not being able to if anything, they're like, yeah, go ahead and add on to it. When has a community not been able to put out a reward for somebody that committed this? I mean, for real. What community has ever been told no about putting out a reward? The same community that didn't get a fucking picture of the car. That's who. I couldn't believe it. What would be the reason, if you agree with it so much, what would be the reason not to put out a reward?
I didn't say I agreed with it. I'm trying to think of. You're asking me a lot of questions. I'm trying to think of the reasons. Like, I don't know if you're going into something like that, and it would take time. And I'm just saying, if those girls, I don't know why someone wouldn't call for 8 hours. I
I'm
would.
not no, I'm asking about the reward in the photo. I'm talking about why wouldn't Ellie want to put out a photo if they had of the vehicle, and why wouldn't they allow the families or even themselves? Why wouldn't they allow a reward? Because those two things right there is what I'm saying. There's a reason why. Because of what's been taking place and the stuff that I've read in the last two highlights, it all goes together.
No, not when you have two surviving roommates that were there. It's no. They have to make sure they're not even involved. They have to do their.
So they're not going to allow Okay. Don't you think that the surviving roommates were in the same spot I mean, so you're saying let's hamper an investigation?
It's not hampering.
Of course it is. You're stalling an investigation. Let's not go at it as quick, or let's not go at it as hard as we could to try and find this person as quick as we could, because we have to make sure that we protect these people.
So how would you go about doing it?
I would be putting out the
put
fucking
everything on
car, the picture of the car. I already said in the very beginning of talking about this, I would want this person apprehended as soon as possible. One more minute that this person is out on the street is one more minute that they can do this to somebody else.
So because you put out a picture of a car, you think you're going to find them faster?
Damn straight. I'd find him a hell of a lot faster if I didn't put out a picture of a fucking car. And I'd find him a hell of a lot faster if I allowed a reward instead of not allowing one. Because money talks and pictures talk too. If you don't put them out there, who's talking? I mean, damn straight. As soon as I had a photo, hell, I would have took a few photos and I would have put them motherfuckers out there. And then I would have said, hey, you know what? Let's start a GoFundMe. If we can't afford, Money Moscow, if we can't afford to put out a frickin' reward for this brutal crime that took place, then let's set up a GoFundMe and let's people donate. I bet you that reward would have been so frickin' high, and you're going to tell me that kind of money don't get people to talk either? Please. That's why they have rewards all the way back since Buford Tannen, in the 1800s. That's why they made rewards, because money talks. Money will get people to tell the truth. Money will get people to give that little bit of information that solidifies that case. Who doesn't want to put out a reward to stop somebody?
Do you know how many people lie for money
put out a photo? But who doesn't want to put out a photo of the vehicle?
How many times have we even got lied to already?
But here's the thing: you're not dishing that money out to everybody that said something. You're dishing it out to the person that led to the person that is being charged or convicted for the crime.
You think? No.
Unravel, because you know how many people don't get the reward money that do the tip?
You know how many people throw the tips out there that are nothing, that don't get money, and then when you throw money in it, it just throws more off?
Unravel, no. Look at the analytics when it comes to rewards and how many people get paid the rewards compared to how many people give those tips to really get the reward money. It's not good.
Pull it up.
So people aren't getting money from throwing lies left and right. It's the truth. You can Google it right now.
Well, pull it up.
There's somebody right here that frickin' somebody go ahead and send it to me. There's a dude right here that was supposed to get reward money for the frickin' Casey's the lady the cop that took off with the convict. Dude's the one that gave him the tip from the car wash. He didn't even get the reward money, Unravel.
I'm not saying that.
Everybody knows this. This is not like some shit that's made up. Everybody
I don't even
knows
know why that's not even
what
I was
get the
saying.
reward money.
I didn't say that. I just said you got a lot more tips to go through, and
no, you told me to look it up.
Yeah, you said you were gonna.
That's fine.
Said you had it.
No, I didn't. You said to look it up. I said somebody could send it to me. But it's the truth. People don't get the reward money. So to say that people are getting reward money for handing out lies is not true. What I'm trying to say about the reward money is they, in fact, don't get the money when they do offer the tips. That's what takes place. It's a complete opposite. And what I'm saying is why wouldn't you allow a reward if you wanted to catch the person? Why wouldn't you release a photo if you wanted to catch the person? It makes no sense. There's supposed to be good reasons. I've been waiting for the good reasons. And I don't know anybody. I've been asking chat for some reasons why LE shouldn't release a photo of a vehicle if they have it, or allow a community to have a reward to catch the suspect. I haven't seen that either. It is very rare that the reward money is given to that person. It's ridiculous. It's messed up. When you look into it, it's really fucked up. Because then why would somebody want to, if you look at the analytics, why would somebody want to come forward with information about the reward money thinking already that they're probably not going to get it because of the way that shit goes? It's messed up. There aren't any good reasons. That's why I keep saying they would have put out a photo if they had it. Because why in hell would they not? Why? Why would they not? If they had it, why would they not? Because they want to protect somebody? I don't think so. They put out a stock photo because they did not have a photo. What the hell's an Elantra look like? I don't know, Jim. Well, here, we better put out a stock photo because we don't have anything else. Because if you would have had a real photo, you would have put it out there, because the last thing you want is this person to do it to somebody else. That's called doing your job. I would love to have a fucking LE officer tell me why they wouldn't release a photo of a frickin' car if they had it. Or find me a video. Or find me an article. Something. I want to know a reason why LE wouldn't release a photo of a vehicle if they had it. Or a reward. Especially a reward. Because that's more telling than not having a... Listen, if you don't have a photo of the car, that is what it is. The fact that you don't want a reward out for to the public to help bring in more tips to help... When the families are being told no, when the families themselves, not the general public, when the families themselves are asking to have a reward and they are told no, what reason do you have? When you have the victim's parents coming to you wanting to put up a reward and you tell them no, what fucking reason do you have? Well, I already did the video of how a DoorDash driver can get lost with that whole route right there. I recreated it with Court TV's dash cam, and I did a sarcastic version so you guys could see how it could literally be somebody get... it's 1122 Queen. I'm on Queen Road, but it says King Road. I don't fucking... It's not like it's 1112 Main Street. And it says Main Street on the sign. On the sign of the road, it says Queen Road. On the frickin' thing, it says King Road. Would you not get confused too? I probably would have drove around there too if I was trying to deliver something. Hell, you guys send me out on my trips when I'm leaving different locations and my GPS gets buggy. I'm sure I've made that route a few times. That was a good one too. All right, so I do have some stuff. Yola, you're more than welcome to hop up. I sent you a link too. I do have some stuff on that case that I was talking about. I just don't see how they don't release shit if they have it. It just does not make sense to me. But since you guys keep talking about this route, here's this.
On the back side of the second floor room, this living room area.
We'll get into all that other stuff tonight here in a few.
Mortensen's room on the second floor, Vinny. That gives you perspective. And then moving on up, of course, above this camera angle where I am would be the third floor where Kaylee Gonzalez and Maddie Mogan would be at that time. That car was passing by this home.
Absolutely. I want to show the folks at home some maps because I know you some more video to show us. Let's take a look at this map. This is, again, you see the crime scene. Let's zoom in on that crime scene. That's the home. And Shanley keeps talking about Queen Road. So at 4:04 in the morning, there's a fourth time that the suspect vehicle goes down Queen Road and then sort of turns around in front of that apartment complex, 500 Queen Road. Then you see it start to move forward and then stops. And they think it's either attempting to park or make some sort of a maneuver right in front of the car on Queen Road. But then it starts to move again and goes towards the intersection of King and Queen Road. And that's where it makes one of those 3-point turns, a K turn. It turns around in that intersection and then heads back east on Queen Road, again towards the home. Now, Chanley, I know you put together some video showing all of this because this is significant. This is 4:04. This is when the car makes its final pass, and then it's time to break in.
I'm sorry. This path is like Joe Dirt going to commit this crime. Not somebody that studied SKs, that had questionnaires about what they felt, what mistakes they made. This is like a route that Joe Dirt would have took to go do this crime. Like, you're gonna fucking drive up, turn around right there, then come back around, do another turn, and then come back around. I'm sorry. I just assume this dude is smarter than what they're saying he is. Because they're saying he's stupid as fuck.
And that's where it makes one of those 3-point turns, a K turn. It turns around in that intersection and then heads back east on Queen Road, again towards the home. Now, Chanley, I know.
I mean, anybody. Like, who does that? What's up, Kelly? Who does that? Who literally, like, you're gonna commit a crime and you're gonna just look at that. Just look at it. To me, that looks like somebody that got lost trying to deliver food. And they got confused because they were like, wait a minute, I'm on Queen Road, but I need King Road. I need 1122 King Road. I'm on fucking Queen Road. What is my GPS telling me?
If you have a lot of adrenaline pumping through and this is.
I know this because when I go on my damn trip. Huh? What?
If you have a lot of adrenaline pumping through, if this was planned, I'm just saying, if it was planned and you're pumping yourself up, you're gonna make mistakes.
Not if you staked it out. Not if you've
this
staked
is.
it out, you've planned it out, you've went to school for it, you used all this training mentally with these questions and all these different things. That's why
It's a crime being committed.
you're not Isaiah Ryder and then you turn into Jordan and then go back to Isaiah Ryder.
Who's to say that? Could be.
History? No. History repeats itself. That's why analytics are worth so much, because history does truly repeat itself.
There is never a perfect murder.
I didn't say there was. I'm saying there's analytics. There's analytics and there's history. And history repeats itself. Always. And so that's why analytics is so valuable, because history repeats itself, and then it also catches the time that it doesn't repeat itself and how many times and how it happened and all these other things. That's why analytics are so important. So I bet you if you threw this route in an analytics machine, it would spit out a receipt that says improbable. I'm just guessing. Because I mean, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Somebody that is going to commit this crime is not going to drive around like Joe Dirt. This right
Maybe he was
here
thinking about it.
is
Maybe
the
he
worst.
figured out. Maybe he was like, it's a good time. Maybe he's seen somebody. Maybe he's seen a shadow. Maybe he's like, oh, I don't know. Do it not.
Okay.
I mean, like,
I'm just coming from a street perspective, Unravel. And coming from a street perspective, that's one of the dumbest fucking things that you can do. And coming from a street perspective, that shit right there is why you never even get to the position that you're getting from, because of dumb shit right there. So he wouldn't have even got to the position to commit this crime practicing dumb shit like that. It's coming from a street perspective. That route right there is one of the worst routes you could do to commit that crime. An even
maybe it is.
shittier route would have been the route where dude drives around the parking lot. That's still a dumb fucking move. But to sit there and do this and this and this and this and this, you would have gotten caught because somebody would have done told on your ass because you did dumb shit like that.
Sounds like someone did.
No, because he did the crime. What I'm saying is if you are doing dumb shit like that, people are going to find out that you're going to do the crime before you commit it, and you get caught before you do the crime. That is a route that somebody makes that gets caught. That route right there. A route that a person that commits this crime makes to not get caught is they don't even bring the freaking vehicle there. Because you have properties on the bottom right of where it says crime scene. You have a road that you could park a vehicle that it would not stand out, and you could have literally walked through some brush and some trees and came from the back, and nobody would have seen you in that freaking neighborhood, period. That's the difference between the person that probably committed this crime and this route that they're saying this person took to commit this crime. That right there is a route that gets your ass caught. You can ask anybody that has the street perspective and they will tell you the exact same thing. And when you're committing a crime like that, you're not coming from a holiday perspective. You're coming from a different perspective. Just sent what in Discord? Here, let me get back to this. I'll check my Discord. That's like somebody got lost. I know this because when I go on my damn trips, sometimes my GPS doesn't like to tell me the right way, and all of a sudden I'm doing shit like this. That's somebody that got lost. That's not somebody that stalked out the property 12 times. Come on. Stalked out the property 12 times. But you're like Joe Dirt going to park the car.
Now you put together some video showing all of this because this is significant. This is 4:04. This is when the car makes its final pass, and then
Give me a break.
It's time to break into the home and commit a murder.
Don't either, Katrina.
Exactly. So again, we started at 3:29 a.m. So this is more than 30 minutes later, 3 passes by this home later. This is the fourth time, like you said, 4:04 a.m. again, making its way east on Queen Road one more time. This is the only way into this area. You see the crime scene to the right. He, according to this affidavit, continues on straight past these apartment buildings on the right and would make, it's very narrow road. As you can see, I've spoke to most of these neighbors that live here on this row of this apartment complex. You would have to go all the way towards the end of this narrow road before you could turn around. It's going to be apartment number 52, according to the affidavit. In this area, this wider circle area where that white Hyundai Elantra turned around, according to this affidavit, and then goes back down the hill west on Queen Road, where he passes the crime scene one more time. It would have been on his left side, his driver's side of the car at that time. And according to the affidavit, that's when he sort of fails to either turn around, attempts to kind of park or turn around there right in front of the home. Remember those tire marks, Vinny, on this road that I'm showing you? They would be about where that red car is in front in this video, where those
The tire marks, right where that red car is. Yeah. In the parking lot that wasn't closed off in the beginning, right? They're the killer's tire marks. They're the killer's tire marks. It wasn't closed off, but it was preserved, sir. It was preserved.
tire marks were. So he would continue down. He would pass it after this failed attempt to park or turn around
preserved
in front of the home, and then see the intersection further down where King and Queen meet. He does a 3-point turn there before heading back to this home where, according to this affidavit, committed these murders within about 16 minutes before speeding off at 4:20 a.m. this direction out Valencia Road.
So let me ask you, Chanley, at 4:04, when all this is happening, what we're showing the folks right now, what's going on inside the house?
At 4:04, well, around 4 a.m., according to the affidavit, there's a DoorDash food delivery delivered to the home, and that was ordered by Xana Kernodle, the second floor room. She ordered food. I believe it was like Jack in the...
That's what they just did with the killer. Look, okay. Does this not look like... We're not even going to listen to him, okay? We're not even going to listen to him. Does this not look... Okay? Does this not look like somebody that's freaking lost trying to order food? I'm not even going to play what they're talking. Just watch their driving, okay? Damn, I swear I'm on Queen Road, but it says 1122 King. Is there another way to get to King Road?
Okay, what do you think?
How do you... Hold on a minute. Let me look at...
What? Sorry, I was just letting this play.
Oh, what do you think? What do you like?
What I just did right here. This is what I think took place. I recreated it. Using the dash cam to make people... I'm taking you on me getting lost making a DoorDash delivery, Unravel. That's what I'm doing with
So you
TV.
think he's a DoorDash driver?
I don't know. I'm saying, to me, it appears like somebody that was trying to make a delivery. That's why I did this version of it, because I was tired of people telling me that that was the exact route that the person that committed these crimes took. And I'm like, I'm going to show you a version of how this can literally be somebody getting lost, delivering food. And thank God that we came across this video from Court TV, which allowed me to show you like I'm making the drive to deliver food and I get lost doing it. It was perfect. That's why I made a highlight out of it, because I'm like, if you can't see how this could be, that's why I included the route before this part that I did it. So you could see the route that they're talking about. And this is the route that they're showing you that we just saw mapped out. This is the route that they're showing you. And this is a version of me showing you how I could get lost making a DoorDash delivery.
Okay, I get that part. That's the
Yeah.
I do, but what's the point? I don't.
The point is to try and show people that this diagram that we just showed up here doesn't mean, like you were just saying, He could be like hyped up, and I'm sitting there saying, no, a person that's going to commit this crime does not do this route. A person that's lost does this route. That's the whole point of me talking about it. You were saying this route was somebody that was getting
No, I
hyped
said
up
it's
or
a possibility.
distracted or
I didn't say that
whatever.
was it. I was thinking, I mean, it's a possibility.
Right.
But
That's
you
why
got a
I'm doing
point,
it.
Joe.
That's why I'm doing this. I mean,
give
that's
you
why you
that.
asked me why I'm doing it, because I'm showing everybody, no, this route that's why I included it in this highlight. This route is not somebody that is jonesing for a fix, is not somebody that's stoned out of their fucking mind, is not somebody that is so distracted or whatever. No, this is somebody that got lost making a damn delivery. And this is me showing how this delivery is not what everybody is saying. No, this is why I did this. Okay, that's why I put case out or lost DoorDash, because this is a perfect version to try and get everybody to understand this could literally be somebody getting lost trying to make a delivery. Quit saying it's the frickin' kit. Quit saying it's the unaliver's path. That's why I'm bringing up these articles that I did, like Mark Carver last night. Quit saying the dude is 100% guilty, because this exact shit can take place and has taken place, and history repeats itself. Period. Period. It repeats itself. I swear I'm on order food. I'm not even going to play what they're talking. Just watch their driving. Okay. Damn, I swear I'm on Queen Road, but it says 1122 King. Is there another way to get to King Road? How do you hold on a minute? Let me look at my GPS again real quick. Okay, well, it's telling me I'm at the location, but I'm not at the location. Is that it? I don't know, but it's telling me I'm at the location, but I'm not. Shoot, hold on. Let me see if I can go. It must come around. King Road must come around because it's on King Road, 1122. Okay, hold on. Let me see. No, shoot. I can't go anywhere. No, it dead ends. Hold on a minute. No, hold on a minute. Let me go back. Hold on. Let me go back. It's got to be this way. It has to be. Hold on. All right. I don't know. I'm on Queen Road now. I'm on Queen Road, but it says 1122 King Road. Huh? Is that it? But it's Queen Road. I'm looking at the numbers on the house and it says 1122, but I'm on Queen Road. I'm lost, y'all. And that's what I'm saying. What's up, Lana? Thank you for hopping in. That's what I'm saying, Unravel. Like, this route right here could literally, they just did it for us. The whole dash cam, and all that. They just did it for us. Whoops, why is it taking me out of there? There we go. They just did it for us. And then I get lost in my damn trips. Like, I know what it feels like. And to sit there and go up and down. It's like, yeah, well, you know what? I'm on Queen, but it says King. I'm on Queen, but it says King. How do I, what? Huh? Where is this? How do I get there? I could see why somebody went around, because they saw Queen Road continues to go down. So they had to go straight into the apartment building. Shit. Well, this isn't going to be the road because it already told me I reached my destination. So let me turn around. Let me go back down and see if King Road circles around the other way, because then maybe the front of the house is actually on the road that goes around. I get to the end of the King Road, Queen Road intersection. fuck, it's a dead end. I gotta go back around and try. What? This must be it. Even though it says 1122 and I'm on Queen Road, it says King Road, but it's got to be it. It's got to be it. It's the only thing that makes sense. I don't see somebody. Thank you. I appreciate you so much. For real. I don't see anybody going to commit this crime doing that kind of drive. I just don't see it. And the reason that I was bringing up the video from last night, the highlight that I made about M.Carver, because you could literally, if you spend the 45 minutes to listen, I know it's a long one, but if you spend 45 minutes listening to my read through, or you take the time, I put the article in the description as well. If you take the time to even read it yourself and read everything that took place in that case, you could literally apply it to Idaho4 and Brian Kohberger and seriously be like, and that's so much reasonable doubt right there. That's so much. What's up? If you want to hop up, you're more than welcome. I know you're busy. I know you're busy, but you're more than welcome. I mean, it's just, and I got a lot of this. I got some stuff from this M.Carver case to show you guys. Not only the read through of the article last night, but there's different things. I got some documents. I got some videos that you guys can watch. I mean, this stuff is no joke. And people need to hear this video more. They need to hear or even read this article. Like, you take what went on with the acquittal of Ann Taylor in 2017 and how the prosecution was basically like, yo, we focused on this one person, you know, they got found not guilty. Hey, this is the person that we were focused on. We believe without a doubt this is the person that committed the crime. We don't feel like we need to go search or try and find other suspects. You know, that's number one. That's one thing I wanted to show you. And then the next video is me wanting to show you, like, yo, the touch DNA shakes an officer's hand after an interview. Next thing you know is touch DNA ends up on the vehicle. Next thing you know, the dude, the stuff's being said, which wasn't true. Stuff's being withheld on purpose that the defense didn't get. Stuff's being withheld. And then they get a conviction. While the other person that was part of it ended up passing away because of it. And then the dude spends 13, 14 years or something in prison for nothing because he came forward, said he was in the area, did what he was supposed to do as a responsible citizen, gave a statement, shook the officer's hand out of respect, and next thing you know, the dude's sitting in a prison. I can't imagine if that would have happened in today and the kind of shit that would have been thrown his way. Guilty, guilty, guilty. It's like, yo, this stuff can hit coffee cup DNA. That's right. Coffee cup DNA. Thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out. I appreciate it. I'm going to show you some of that stuff. Now, I don't know if I'll get in trouble from some of this. It's, what is it? Let me see. CBS? ABC. I think I'll be okay. But there's a two-part little ABC News thing that they did about this from 6 years ago. Now, 6 years ago is when the I'll share the article with you guys real quick. Where's it at? National Registry of Exonerations. So this is the National Registry of Exonerations, and this talks about the case right here, if you want it for your own records.